As the body ages, the immune system undergoes a natural decline known as immunosenescence, a gradual weakening of immune surveillance, responsiveness, and repair capacity. This decline affects both the innate and adaptive branches of the immune system, leaving older adults more vulnerable to infections, slower to recover from illness, and less responsive to vaccines. When obesity is added to the picture, the deterioration of immune function accelerates and deepens, creating a compounding burden that dramatically raises the risk for infectious disease, cancer, and chronic inflammatory conditions. Older adults with obesity are not just managing extra weight, they're navigating an immune system that is increasingly uncoordinated, overworked, and unable to mount effective defenses. Aging alters immune cells at a cellular level. T cells, which play a critical role in identifying and attacking foreign invaders, become less diverse and less effective. B cells, which produce antibodies, also decline in function and number. This reduces the body's ability to recognize and respond to new pathogens, making older adults more susceptible to viruses like influenza, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, and SARS-CoV-2. Natural killer cells and macrophages, the first responders of the immune system, also become sluggish, impairing the body's early defense mechanisms. At the same time, the immune system becomes paradoxically overactive in the wrong ways. Chronic low-grade inflammation, often referred to as inflammaging, takes hold. And while it doesn't help fight infection, it does drive tissue damage, accelerate aging, and promote the development of age-related diseases. Obesity independently contributes to this pro-inflammatory state, and when combined with aging, the effects are compounded. Adipose tissue, especially visceral fat stored around abdominal organs, is metabolically active and constantly secreting inflammatory cytokines and hormones, including TNF-A, IL-6, and leptin. These molecules disrupt normal immune signaling and increase systemic inflammation, which further impairs the function of immune cells. In obese individuals, the immune system often becomes skewed toward a persistent inflammatory state that misfires against the body's own tissues while failing to mount efficient responses against actual pathogens. This immune dysfunction explains, in part, why obese individuals, especially older ones, experience more severe outcomes from common infections and often respond less effectively to vaccines. Metabolic syndrome, which frequently accompanies obesity, adds another layer of immune vulnerability. Insulin resistance, elevated blood sugar, and dyslipidemia not only damage blood vessels and organs, but also interfere with immune cell metabolism. Immune cells rely on tightly regulated energy pathways to activate and function correctly. In a metabolically disordered environment, their ability to respond to threats is weakened. Chronic hyperglycemia also supports bacterial and fungal growth, raising the risk for infections like urinary tract infections, pneumonia, and sepsis in obese seniors. Moreover, healing after illness or surgery is often slower in this population due to poor circulation, impaired tissue repair, and a less responsive immune system. Importantly, vaccine effectiveness is reduced in both aging and obesity. Older obese adults often generate a weaker antibody response after vaccination, making them more susceptible to breakthrough infections. This has been seen with flu shots and COVID-19 vaccines alike. While vaccination is still strongly recommended and protective, it may not confer the same level of immunity in this demographic, which underscores the importance of layered health strategies that go beyond immunization alone. Despite these grim-sounding realities, immune resilience is not completely lost with age or obesity. Lifestyle modifications can substantially improve immune function even in later life. Regular moderate-intensity physical activity, such as walking, strength training, or swimming, has been shown to enhance immune surveillance and reduce systemic inflammation. Exercise helps mobilize immune cells, reduces visceral fat, and improves metabolic flexibility, all of which benefit immune health. A high-quality diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and fermented foods can supply antioxidants, polyphenol, and essential nutrients that support immune regulation. Specific nutrients such as vitamin D, zinc, selenium, and omega-3 fatty acids are particularly important for maintaining immune integrity in aging populations and should be monitored, as deficiencies are common. Weight loss, even modest, can reduce inflammatory cytokine levels, improve insulin sensitivity, and partially restore immune cell function. For older adults, the goal is not extreme weight loss, but rather a gentle, sustainable reduction that emphasizes preserving muscle mass while reducing fat, especially around the abdomen. Combining light calorie restriction with resistance training and anti-inflammatory dietary choices offers the best path to improved immune health. In summary, aging and obesity are both individually capable of impairing immune defenses, but when they coexist, as they often do, they create a compounded risk for infections, inflammation, and delayed recovery. This immune dysfunction is not merely about susceptibility to colds or the flu. It represents a deeper vulnerability that touches every aspect of health, from wound healing and vaccine response to cancer surveillance and chronic disease progression. However, this trajectory is not fixed. With targeted changes in movement, nutrition, and weight management, older adults can reclaim some of their immune vitality and resilience, enhancing their ability to protect themselves against illness and age with greater confidence and strength.